Hi everyone, so today I have two collections to share with you that Spellbinders just launched in August. I have a little bit of one and more of the other here in front of me. So these items were sent free of charge from my review, and of course all opinions are my own. And any links I have in the description box will be affiliate links, which means I'll make a small commission if you were to purchase items through those links. So thanks for using those if you would like to. So again, I have two different collections. This one's more of a Glimmer collection. It is called Glimmer for the Holidays, and then I also have some of the Susan Tierney Coburn kind of floral type things. Mine are more foliage type things with some sentiments, so we'll talk about that in just a minute. But first I'll focus on this one here, because what I have is several plates basically. I believe they also have one that's like a Christmas tree kind of shape. It's really cute, made from like a vine. It looks really lovely. So what I have here is, this first one is the geometric shape Glimmer monoline stars. So it's a big background hot foil plate, and it is just about 5 3/4 by 4 1/2, so just a 1/4 inch larger than your A2 size plate. Excuse me, so it's just a little bit larger than your A2 size card front, right? So you have extra, and that's really nice. And as you can see, it just has a really nice geometric pattern. Hope you can see that. I like seeing like the stars kind of pop out here and there. It looks really cool. This other one is a really sweet background called Pine Sprays, and let's measure that guy. It's a little bit smaller, as you can see already there. This one is, yeah, 5 1/2 by, I'm assuming, 4 1/4. Yep, so it's exactly an A2 topper size for your paper. Just really love with all the different pine sprays back here. This one's really nice. So what happens with this one is you can pick up just the hot foil plate, or you can get the stencil hot foil plate bundle. And as you know, I get samples, so that's why mine are just kind of packaged the way they are, but yours will be on a carrier with some beautiful inspo or instruction if it needs it. So you can pick up just the plate. It's full bloom poinsettia, or again, the combo with the stencil. So let's check this out. Really lovely. Again, it's probably gonna be A2-ish, right? Yeah, it's like 5 1/2, probably by 4 1/4 in the other direction, or 4-ish, right? And then these are the stencils, so hopefully you can see that beautiful bloom. Maybe I'll bring it up. Right in the center, and then it has like little berries. I love the pine cones. I've been loving the way they include that in their designs. It's really pretty. Just that little pop of brown there. And then there are 1, 2, 5 stencils. So this one has some of the poinsettia in there with some berries. This one has another portion of the poinsettia, a little bit of the berries, and then the pine cone here. This one has a little more of the poinsettia with the pine cone, and then some other berries here. More pine cone there with the center of your flower, and then this last one is the greenery. That's really cool. I love that. I love that the pine cone even has different shading with the options here. So we have that. Another item in that same collection here is this down here. So I put it sideways just so I can fit it on this mat, but it's called Comfort and Joy Sentiments. They're hot foil sentiments, but what I love is that there's 2 of them. And then you have this die that cuts that beautiful shape, like little banners. So all at once you get 6 sentiments. And then the sentiments are things like this. Comfort and joy, let it snow, peace on earth, 'tis the season, joy of the world, oh what fun. And then the other one says, making spirits bright, Christmas greetings, cherish the season, warm winter wishes, Merry Christmas, and merry and bright. So really cool. I want to see something, because this one looks really curved, where this one doesn't look as curved, but it's probably because it has less words, so it doesn't have that curve, but it will still follow the curve when you die cut it. You can see that? And this one just has more wording to it, so it's very more apparent, that curve that it has there. Yeah, so we have that. So really, really nice. I love that kind of thing. So as far as these foliage type dies I have down here, let me see if I can get them in there. One of them is this set here. So it's these 2 holly leaves, nice large size, and this little cluster of holly. And the reason I have these together here is because I figure we have the backgrounds and we can do a little something with these guys. If I do that today or not, you know, we'll see. Maybe I'll do the stenciling, I'm not sure. But we have that, and again, that's from the Snow Garden collection for this year. And then we have the hemlock, oh, so cute, cones and chickadee. And so basically, you might wonder where are the cones. So we have the hemlock there. Look at the little chickadee. It's got a lot of little texture. Of course, you're inking. You're doing things like that to make this really pop. It's this right here. It looks like flowers, right? It says you're going to run this through 2 times. And you make a little pine cone with this, you guys. It is really adorable because it kind of just cup them and you kind of put them together and you continue making them. So from the larger outside to smaller, smaller, smaller. And I mean, it's just really, really cute. So there's that guy. And then we have some sentiments also from the Snow Garden collection, excuse me. And it is Snore Garden. I don't know. It's just called Snow Garden Sentiments Hot Foil Plate and Die Set. And it has, you know, your classic sentiments like Believe, and we have Merry Christmas, Season's Greetings, and they all have an outline die. So this is the plate, right? This is what's going to go through your hot foil machine, but your die is separate there. And it says, may you be surrounded by all the things that bring Christmas cheer. Guys, that's a lot of wording and it's backwards and it's very stylized, so got it. So that's the sentiment on that one. So what we're going to do today is I'm just going to clear the decks and choose something to do. Maybe we'll do all the backgrounds just to have them glimmered. You can see what they look like and then just play around a little bit. Alright guys, so I will be right back. Okay guys, I brought my Glimmer out and actually I will turn that on. Thought I already had, but I did not. I have my little foil cutter. We're going to try this out again. The quick trimmer, because we do have quite a bit of cutting to do. And sorry, I kind of made myself a little bored of stuff here. Okay, so with this pack I've had for a while, I just want to get this green Glimmer out. So that'd be really fun. I was looking for just a green, and I was like, don't think I have one that's just green. So I have this prismatic kind of green foil, and so we're gonna use that. So anyway, with all these, we're gonna get them started if they're brand new. They usually have like this little sticker that is there to make you go, "Arr." So okay, let's get this guy off. And I'll do the same obviously with the other ones. But for the first one, remember this is a larger plate. So I did cut a piece of paper, basically the same size. I mean, you can go a little larger, the 4.5 by 5 3/4. Black paper, heavyweight paper. Again, try to use the smoothest paper you can, or if your paper has one side that feels smoother than the other, I would foil on this side that feels smoother. On that one, I'm going to use this blue, called Sky Bright. So pretty. I thought, why not? Something frosty. You know, we'll just have these backgrounds and, you know, I'll use them here and there. So I'm going to cut this down to basically the size of the plate. You don't really want a lot of extra foil. So like for me, it would be basically that 5 3/4. And just probably leave it in the other direction. That's fine. But I'll cut it down at 5 3/4. Whenever I have a little extra, I always keep it in there so that can be for something else. For this one, I did cut my paper to, I believe, 4 1/4 by 5.5, and then I'm going to use the green foil on that one, so I'm going to cut it down just about the size of the plate. For this one, this is also 4 1/4 by 5.5. I probably trim it down, but for now, I just went that size. And with this one, I'm going to use this Aura. Yeah. Love this, so pretty. Again, trim them all down to about the size of the plate. For some of these, you know, I just picked something. So I just grabbed some red foil called Red. We'll do it on this black paper. Maybe I'll run another one through with white. You know, just having fun with the Glimmer machine today. Let me put the stencil to the side for right now. And then I'm also going to do some of these other ones from the Snow Garden collection. So, you know, just choosing a few of these, and I'll maybe put them on this cream color, so maybe we'll do some gold, maybe we'll do some in black or white, or maybe I'll switch out some of the colors, but that's just for funsies, so I'll put that to the side. So when I come back, the Glimmer will be nice and hot, these things will be trimmed down, and we'll start foiling. So let me put some of these things to the side. Just use my little trimmer. That was really nice and easy instead of kind of fussing with the foil in my hands up here. Okay, so this guy's ready to go. And so we will just get started. Now, these guys I'll probably trim down, so I hardly ever do this, but if you wanted to start with your plate here, I usually just build it off and then bring it over, but you're gonna have your plate facing up. This mat is not magnetic, guys, it's just what it is. And then if you're building it on here, you're gonna have your foil with this silver, the wrong side facing you. And if you're lucky, you know, depending on if you need to have this exactly super straight, you know, you might get that, you might not. Again, I'm going to trim this down. This is bigger than A2 size anyway, so I'm just going to lay that on there, and that's about right. And then I like to put my plates on here now. Some people like to do it afterwards. I just put it on here. It will sweat sometimes or have condensation. It's not a big deal. I'm going to press timer down over here and get that going. And once the timer is solid, that means you're ready to foil. Run it through your machine. With this one, I'm going to build it over here. So what happens is, well, actually it's interesting because this is basically the same size. But if you're building it off and you're going to bring it to your machine afterward, you're going to want the plate, basically the same thing we just did, or let's do it this way just so you can see it differently. There's our paper. We're going to have our foil color side facing us because we're going to put this on top and that pushes down, right? I made these pretty much the exact same size. There is no taping. Usually I tape these together and I bring it to where I need it to be, but for now we don't need to do that. So I'm just making sure it's pretty much all the same all around, and that guy will be ready. I suppose the other way I can show you something like what I'm talking about is over here. I have a bigger piece of paper, a smaller piece of foil. We do want to leave ourselves some room though, because we're going to trim these out with the die, right? So if you don't leave yourself enough room top and all around, the die might end up sticking out over here because your letters are over here, right? So just make sure you're giving yourself enough room. And again, you see how I have the color facing me down to the paper. I'll just cut this like this. Oh, did I just say leave yourself some room? I did say that, and I left myself the exact amount, so let me just turn it this way. That'll be better. Okay, so if you're building it off, again, paper, the foil with the color facing you, and then your plate facing down. And then when we bring it to our machine, we're going to flip this over like this onto the machine. You always want your plate touching your machine's, the hot surface. Oh, my timer already went off. And I'm over here chit-chatting. All right, well, let's bring this over here. By the way, it's not the biggest deal if you leave it there a little bit longer. In fact, I usually leave it a few seconds longer just because I like that. So let's take this off of here. And I'm going to run it through slowly. Sometimes I like to run it right back through, but oh, I love that sizzle sound. Sometimes you'll hear a sizzle, you guys. Put it back on here because we are going to be doing quite a bit of glimmering today. And we can get this guy, and I will not pick that guy up. I'll use this, oh, magnet. This guy's a big boy. Look at that, the magnet's like having a hard time getting him. I'll just bring him over to the side over here, at least for now. And let's see what this guy looks like. Oh, nice. Again, I did leave it longer, so I got a little what I would call overfoiling, but all it is, I don't know if you can see how it's just not perfect. It looks kind of like funky, right? Just bring an eraser, and all you're going to do is erase over that, and it just cleans up all that extra bits. So I'll do that wherever I need to. The platform is ready for the next one, and I am not, so I'm just going to put this to the side. Let's do this little guy next. The one that, this one. Now you don't have to do just a piece at a time like this. We'll put it down. You can definitely fill up your plate. I just like doing one plate at a time. This guy we can save for another project. You can use one of those full dies that kind of gets that print for you on another piece of paper. But yeah, so I'm just gonna run them through, guys, and I'll be back. leftovers. They look really great, but I don't really know how you would use this. Maybe with one of those solid dies or plates, but it's just a lot of words. Sometimes you can do is just go ahead and do that and then trim them down so that what you're going to see is the paper coming through where the lettering is, and then you can cut it, you know, that might work. Actually, you can still cut it with that same wave die afterwards, huh? If you use a piece of foil big enough, so I wasn't planning on that, but if you did, you can cut it and then you're going to have sentiments that look like that, basically, and the paper showing through. Very cool. Okay, and then I have all these guys to play with later also. Look at that. It's easier to see the design on the back. So I'll put those in my little cubby over there. Okay, so we're gonna cut these down, do some other fun things with them, but for now, that's what I have. And then these guys, I'm just going to run through with the die, just like that. You know, kind of eyeballing left and right and seeing that it's centered and, you know, up and down the whole thing. When I put my tape, I'm not putting the tape on the foil because you don't want to lift your foil up. And then with these guys, I just did a couple of them. I'll just use the outline dies to cut those out. Okay, so I will run those through and then we'll start putting some cards together. I'll show you this, how it just comes apart. Look at that. And then I have all these sentiments all at once and they look awesome. Oh my gosh. These other ones I am going to use my precision dies to cut, just cut them down, right? Right now I like my matte layers. I don't really like to do a whole card topper. That's not my preference, but so I'm just going to use some of the precision dies just to cut around them nicely, you know. Both of these guys. This one I'm probably just going to leave for now, as big as it is. Right, so we have a couple toppers here. This one's 4/8 by 5 3/8. This one, actually I don't know what size this one is. It's 4 by 5 1/4. So we'll mat that. And then this one I just left completely as large as it is. Let's go ahead and do our stenciling. I have all these sentiments. We can put those to the side for now. I'm probably just going to take a moment to just do these. And again, you guys, you do have registration marks over here. They're not the kind that you can color in, but you can definitely use them to help you kind of see where you're placing your items, especially if you have your card topper cut at 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. That's like the perfect sizing. But right now, just me eyeballing this, I can see that if I put this here, that looks really good. I can see there's some berries and then some of the flower. Since I cut down my paper already, obviously my paper is going to be smaller than that area. And I'm just going to go in here. Maybe I'll use finger daubers, my very festive finger daubers with this skull here. And I'm just gonna have fun, guys. Maybe pinkish red colors, maybe the berries can be like burgundy or purplish kind of colors, and then green for the greenery. I don't know, since this video is a little bit longer, that I need to say much more about that. I'll probably have some music over this. I'll move this up higher so you can see it better. You know, light brown, dark browns. Generally, you start off with the lighter colors and you build up to darker colors is how stencils usually work, so I'm assuming this should be light, that should be darker, but then when I look at this one actually has a lot of pine cone in it, so, let me see how they layer on top of each other. Actually, you can kind of have an idea if you're looking at it. So this is like the inside portions of this pine cone, and then this one, that's very interesting, actually. Let me see. Of course, I say, you know, oh, it's usually this, and then, maybe not. But pine cones usually have the darker tips, right? Unless you want to center or shade this part darker. So that's something you might want to think about. It looks like this is the mid area, like in between the pine cones, little, I know it's hard to see because of the glare, but the part that's a little bit further in, and then this is kind of leading up towards the tip of the pine cone, and this is the tips of the pine cone. So you can think about what you want to do for that. They don't overlap. It's just what you want to do for that shading, you know? And then the greenery is the greenery. If you want to switch out different colors of greenery or just go for it all at once, you know, one color, one shade of green, you know, go for it. I'm just going to do a little bit of light pinky red, red, and darker red for my flower. The berries, I'm going to try to do some purplish colors is what I was hoping for. So I will be back. And I'm just going to follow 1 through 5. Okay, the stencil steps. was okay. Again, lighter to darker, that's just how I like to work with this. I mean, look at that. I start off with pink and it really like blended in with the other colors as far as, it's not like the brightest pink, you know? Really pretty, deep, rich colors. I have a couple of card bases here. Now you guys know I said this one was 4 by 5 1/4. I mean, that looks really pretty, honestly, just like that. But I was going to matte layer it with some gold paper, and then I saw this paper sitting here in my little bucket stash. And I thought, you know what? That might be really nice to bring out that purple. So let's do that. Now, again, I can bring out my precision dies, but I already put them back in their little folders. So I'm just going to cut this here. So 5 3/8, right? That's what I'm looking for. 5 4 1/8. And hopefully that's okay. Looking good. Let's see how that looks back here. Yeah, that's really nice. Look at that. Okay. And then, because I know people will say, oh no, you covered up all that pretty paper, I'm going to gut this paper. So let me just move that out of the way. This is a self-healing mat, so I'll probably just go for it if I can find my... I always hide my cutters so I don't like hurt myself, and it's in here somewhere, but let me just see if I can... here's one. This isn't the one I normally use. Oh, the other one's right in front of my face. Anyway, always make sure this is nice and tight and that's not going to slip or anything, that you have a nice sharp blade. And I'm only having like the smallest amount around the edge, but I'm going to leave myself like a 1/4 inch just so I don't end up going too far and then I just ruined it, right? Don't want that. So again, just about that much there, and I'll just continue going around. Oop, that got really close. Naughty, naughty. Okay, one more. That is so funny. Like I said, this isn't the blade I normally use, and this thing is wonky. Look at that. It really wants to, like, go out here. Okay. So, let's bring our card base back, and then now I can use this for die cutting something else. And there we go. And no one is none the wiser, right? Alright, so let's glue this down first. I would normally, sometimes, well, not normally, that's not true. Sometimes I matte layer, you know, off the card and then I put the whole thing on top of the card, but for this one especially, I'm going to put this down here. This is a specialty paper. I'm going to remove some of that glue just so it doesn't make the paper look warped or in any way. And let's go ahead and put this right here. I'm going to hold that down, guys, and I'll be right back. Okay. And then we'll take this gorgeous thing. I take a little pause because the kids are up right now and they go back to school tomorrow. Oh my gosh, can't believe it. And I'm gonna have lots of time to make videos then. But right now I really wanted to finish this one up, so they are awake and doing their thing. Oh, silly me. I was going to show you guys how this looks pretty this way, it looks pretty this way. I mean, if you want the pine cone up, down, I mean, you know, it's whatever you want, right? As far as the orientation, I was going to show you what that looked like both ways, but oh well. So I'll hold this here. And in the meantime, I'll also take one of my sentiments. I love the way this black looks, making spirits bright, merry and bright. Ooh, let's do that one. I'm just going to put some dimensional adhesives on the back of this, okay? And I'll be right back. And then I just have the sentiment. I probably should have chosen my spot for this before I took the carriers off. Just like over here somewhere. Making spirits bright. And there is a gorgeous card. I mean, it has a lot going on. Again, very flat, very mailable. You know, your dimension doesn't have to be that high. I have some other ones that are lower profile, or just stick it right down, right? So really pretty. So next we're going to try out some of the Susan Tierney Coburn dies. For this one, let's go ahead and just stick down this background because I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to do with it, but I do want to just glue this down. So let's go ahead and get this one down. And then I'm going to do the little bird and we're going to color him in. And I don't think it takes too long to do that because he's kind of like gray and black, and you know, it would be cute if you colored him cardinal colors. Obviously he doesn't quite look like a cardinal, but a little red bird is always cute. But we'll have that down. And you know, I'm kind of eyeballing, don't want sprigs like this possibly. Maybe we'll use this Merry Christmas. Maybe a little sprig sticking out of here somewhere, or like there. I mean, we can use the holly leaves. instead, or also and, right? You can do all that. I want to focus on the little bird guy though. So I have this scrap of paper that I had used the other day that I kind of messed up there with my coloring. Well, not messed up. It was a whole other thing. I had to not use that piece of paper. So what I'm going to do is cut this little guy out. This is alcohol ink marker paper because I'll probably use alcohol ink to color this guy in. So what I'm going to do is run this through so we have our little bird. I'll go ahead and run this through too at the same time. Maybe just some green paper just so it's done. But if you want to run it through white paper and color it, I mean, there's lots of ways to have fun with these guys. But I'll be right back. So kind of a few different things. So obviously this holly is a way larger perspective than like this. And then our little bird, but it's just all accent. You know, I'm not trying to make it look super realistic. And I cut this from brown paper, that way this green would pop if I decide to use it. I don't know if I am. And then again, we have our Merry Christmas. So maybe we have that there, maybe we have this here. I don't know quite yet. And then we have our little bird. So look how cute the bird has. A lot of detail on him already. So what I'm going to do is grab some alcoholic markers and I'll be right back. I'm just kind of playing around with some of the placement, we'll see. And then I cut an extra holly leaf because I was like, well, maybe a little more greenery can come out this way too, who knows, or maybe out in the other direction. But for right now, let's focus on this little guy. And I know it's hard to see. I'm going to get a little bit closer, hopefully slowly. Oh, I also want a black ink marker. What's funny about that is I hardly ever use black ink. And I do have obviously black alcohol ink markers. And of course right now that I'm looking for one, this is the only thing I find is a Bic marker. Which honestly it's going to be the same thing. It'll work. I just grabbed a bunch of grays and maybe we'll accent it with some little white gel pen if I find one. I had one here. This is glue. Okay, I'll find it. But either way, just to give them some little accent pieces. And so let's give it a try, you guys. So these little chickadees, they have like white, black, gray. You know, I'm not trying to make it like I'm like this wonderful artist here, but what I'm going to do is kind of color his little head area black, like right into here maybe, or even the whole thing to be honest, but let's just say we're kind of going under his little eye and then like out this way. I don't know. So we're just going to color that in. I know it feels weird, especially like I say, I usually use very dark gray and that makes me happy, but for now let's use the black. And then kind of in here also, it's kind of marked. I don't know if you can see with all those marks that it has, you can kind of see the differentiation that you want from here to there. So I'm just going to color that in, and usually a little black beak too. But since the black beak is so close to this other black, I don't know if I can differentiate that better than just using like a very dark gray. So let's just do that. Let's just make his little beak dark gray. Maybe I'll bring in some accent later, but for now, let's just leave it like that. And then a little something under his little wing. Again, this black is very hard to get rid of once you've done it. So there we go. Okay. Dark gray. Kind of up here. Maybe following some of these little contours, right? And then a mid-color gray, and then maybe the rest of it. Brought through with this. And then I have a light gray. And so I'm just kind of going over everything. Cute. Move a little bit in here. Just so it looks like we didn't forget to color that. Oopsie, did I color something gray that I was supposed to leave white, possibly? Yeah, I did, but you know what? That's not the biggest deal. What I can do... Oh, actually, I'll show you how I'm going to take care of that. I'll be right back. I'm going to grab a colorless blender. Guys, a little oopsie. I should have left a little more of this area white. But what you can do with a colorless blender is either just hold it there and push that color back through. What this does is more of an eraser than it is anything else. And all I'm following is this little cheek contour. There's like a little contour right here that I shouldn't have colored in. But if you just hold this there, what's actually kind of nice about this is that since he's a bird, he's a little more organic. And it just kind of helps you look better, but you push it, the color to the back. Basically, that's what we're doing there. And then since I have this here, what I'm thinking is, I don't know if it's going to work, we can use this to give us some extra texture, because again, it removes color. And so, I don't know if it'll work on the black, but it might. You can just bring it through and help you make like what looks like texture in the little birdie. So I think that's gonna be good enough. He's pretty cute. Oh my gosh. Oh, white gel pen. Let me grab that and I'll be right back. Let's see if this white gel pen has any ink in it, but there we go. Put a little white in his little eyeball there. You can kind of pull some of that in here just so it looks a little more fun. I'm not super artsy here, guys, but I actually like the way it looks, just the end of that black there. But you know, you can pull some of this through and again give him some little lines so it looks more like feathers or whatever it is you might want to do. But I think we're good. I'm not gonna do too much more. I probably color a little more black on this white area that you see there, but up close, you know, he looks kind of like that. From far away, oh, he looks much better. All right, I'll be back. And you know what? Do I have like a soft sponge? I had one here not too long ago, I guess. I don't know. I'm just looking for my shaping pad. Guys, well, if you ever buy something and it comes with like a hunk of foam or something like that, that happens a lot, just keep it. I don't want you to make you feel like you have to have these fancy things like my cute little pouch here with all the tools that you would need for shaping. But you can just definitely get a piece of foam and then whatever tools that work for you, the end of a pen, you know, it is very nice to have this set, to be honest. But I'm not going to even take the time to put this on my tool-in-one. I'm just going to take this like this and just give him a little rounding in his little body here. Like, why not? You know, just gives him a little something. How cute is that? And his little tail, you can even kind of go like this if you want. But all I did was kind of round out his little body. Okay, I'll be back. Well, after we did all of this, now I'm looking at this, I thought, you know what, maybe we should ink a little bit of ink on these guys. So let me grab this. Maybe a little green. And again, of course you can shape your leaves, you can do all kinds of fun things. I usually go for just like the kind of quicker play with these guys, but they have lines in there that can help you. Of course, if you have your shaping tools, you can use those. But let's just put a little greenery on that. And then I'll take this and put a little brown ink on the edges, okay? And I'll be back. Just that little bit really makes things pop. I mean, I generally keep my cards pretty flat, right? But I was just seeing this like in my little stash here. How cute is it to add some cute little like stamens here and there? Just add a little something. Something to think about. Okay, if we have this here, I'm gonna have to commit because I just want to stick something down so that we can just start from somewhere. So let's go ahead and just glue this guy down. Now, you know, I don't have to put glue on every single little frond or whatever these are called, but just gonna do something like that. I'm gonna hold that down for a second. While I'm doing that, I'm gonna kind of play a little bit with my greenery and see what, you know, kind of things I would like to do. So we had our little bird. And then we have our like Merry Christmas. I mean, is that how I want it? Do I want it to be more on this side, more this way? You know, just whatever it is. Well, that's actually really cute like that, isn't it? Maybe something like that. Okay, and maybe I will go ahead and take a moment to put a little crease on this guy. Oh, of course I have something red on my tool here, so I might have to redo that. But I'll be right back. All I was doing was trying to bend it on that score line. So I will show you what that little oopsie reminded me of. Is I have these little berries, right? So these are very stylized berries. I think Susan's video or example, she had, she puts actually little tiny, like those little like vase fillers you might find like at the dollar store, and that's what she uses to kind of pop on top of these things. I'm just going to take a marker because I don't want to bring out another something, but I'm just going to put a little bit of ink on these guys just to color them in a little bit. Oh, and actually that makes it very easy to get into the center part. Just to give them a little texture, a little something. I'm just going to go around and color a little bit. But yeah, so she uses like a dimensional, you know, berry and just puts them on there. Since this already has like a shape, she just kind of pops them on there. But I'll be right back. I'm just going to color these in a little bit more. Because that little red paint that's on there is literally nail polish, because I use my dotting tool sometimes to decorate my nails with, you know. And so that's where that came from. I'm going to cover up that little red spot just like that with these little berries and hold that down for a second, and I'll be right back. I'm going to tuck this under, so love the way that looks. And put glue on this side and this side because that's what's going to be touching our paper more than anything. Here and here. Again, where's my little bird? I got him like here, okay. And then move this part down here. And if you want this to actually stick up the side that you're not gluing down, you can definitely put a dimensional in there, and that will help out if he's there. And then we have our Merry Christmas kind of popped up in here. Oh my goodness, how cute is that? Okay, so for him, I'm gonna put a dimensional in his little belly area because we rounded that out and I want it to stay kind of round, of course. So right down the center there. And then I'm gonna put glue here and on his little tail. And so he's kind of maybe in there somewhere. Let me see where I want this to be. Yeah, let's put him right there. Okay, so I'm gonna hold down his little head and his little tail. There's a dimensional underneath his belly. You guys, how cute is that? And I really like a lot of the foiling to show, but if you want to put a die cut behind there so that, you know, your little scene is kind of popped out, you know what I'm saying, on top of something like that, then, you know, go for it. Oh, maybe I put that a little too high. Okay, let's get rid of some of this. I wanted this to kind of go over our little bird and I put too much dimensional, so let's cut that away and see if that helps. That does help quite a bit. And I'm just going to pop this here. Is that the piece we cut away? It is. Oh my gosh, you guys, how cute. That little bird is very easy. Don't be intimidated. You saw what I did. It was like hardly anything. He looks a lot better than what I put into it, let's say, in my opinion. But how cute is he? So there it is. And then we have this gorgeous stenciled card. And thanks for spending time with me. I know my videos recently have been quite a bit longer because I was trying to really use up a lot of whatever the collection is that I'm showing you guys. That way you have a good feel of it, right? Again, the automatic 25 off of a $125 cart, or automatic 20 pounds off a 120 pound cart and Spellbinders on their site ends on the 14th today. So you can shop that. I'll have the information in the description box. Of course, the links will be there. I'll have images coming up, and I will see you all at the next one. My goodness, so cute. All right, guys, bye now.